Alright, y'all, good morning. It's your boy 360 Eco, aka Thrills. And it's Monday morning, man. What a weekend. Damn. Yeah, we gotta get that quick. Alright, y'all. Let's head over there.
You there?
No. You might be stuck with me, Skip. I don't know.
It sounds like, is somebody afraid to talk today? Because all of his teams lost over the weekend? I don't know. Sounds like it. Is it just you and me, Jen?
No. You might be stuck with me for the moment.
No.
Sorry for you, Skip.
Okay. I actually prefer it this way.
No.
Good
morning, Shannon. How are we?
What the hell was Shannon?
Finally.
Shannon was gone or what?
Not after the Lakers did what they did. You couldn't do no show by yourself.
No, I could not, because I was not going to let you off the mini hooks that you're on today. Speaking of my favorite player, is it possible that Kevin Durant just remade the case that he is now the best player on the planet again? That's the big question.
Stop it.
Start it.
Stop.
Here we go.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen, let's jump right in, and we will get to Kevin Durant, but we are going to start this morning on a serious note, guys. Ja Morant and what is going on with him. The timetable for his return to the Grizzlies, unknown, according to head coach Taylor Jenkins. Morant was seen flashing a gun on an Instagram live video over this weekend.
Why, Ja? Why?
Stepping away from them. Morant later issued a statement apologizing for the incident and saying he was going to, quote, take some time away to get help and work on learning better methods of dealing with stress and my overall well-being. Shannon, I'll start with you on this one. What's your reaction to what happened this weekend and then Ja's response?
It probably took something like this, Jen, Skip, in order for Ja to realize the error of his ways. Ja was traveling down a road he didn't need to be on. And I don't want to say I'm the only one, because I believe people have tried to reach out to Ja. But Skip, when you're young and you have a lot of money, you feel, first of all, when you're young, you feel you're invincible. Now just imagine you're young and you have a $200 million contract from the Grizzlies. You have a signature shoe from Nike, and you're one of the major faces of Powerade. Now you really think you are invincible. And so he was traveling on a road he didn't need to be on. And I hate that it had to take something like this for him to become very self-reflective. Skip, the NBA is not done with this. This is what we know. Skip, you remember in 2009, Gilbert Arenas did what he did? He brought firearms to the facility. Now, I'm not sure it works like this, but I think it does. In the NFL, you cannot have a firearm on NFL premises. which means training facilities, which means the stadium. I believe it is the exact same way with the NBA. You cannot have a firearm on the premises, training facility, the arena. He had to have taken that gun on the plane from Memphis to Denver. He had to have taken that gun in the arena. Or how else would he have gotten that gun and to do what he did on IG Live? Gilbert Arenas was suspended, if I'm not mistaken. I think it happened like mid-December. He missed the rest of the season.
I never came back.
I'm going to be very surprised if the NBA doesn't come down very, very hard on Ja Morant.
Yep.
I like the apology. Hopefully he gets the help, whatever help that is, in dealing with what he needs to deal with. But Ja, I was just offering you advice, bro. You're talking about, and good advice, Skip, is only good if the person that is receiving it adheres to the advice. That's it. Because I can see where this was heading. Ja was wanting to be something that he shouldn't have wanted to be. As I've said before, Skip, normally people think about it, Skip. John Gotti never said that he was a gangster. Myron Lansky never said they were gangsters. Gangsters never tell you what they are. They do everything they can to perpetrate something that they're not. They're not what they, we know what they were, but they wanted to be outstanding gentlemen. Skip, they had businesses. They were just great in the community because they didn't want to portray that image. Why would someone worth have a $231 million contract that kicks in next year, a signature shoe, a Powerade national ad? Why would you want to be perpetuate that you're a gangster, that you're a thug? So it made no sense to me. I love the fact that Ja apologized. He knows that he was wrong. And hopefully, Skip, I don't believe, you know what, Skip, as I sat back and became very reflective myself this weekend, I do believe some of Ja peers, some of Ja homies have tried to reach out to Ja. But when you're young and you got a lot of money, you're not willing to listen to anybody. And Skip, remember I told you on Friday, the dynamic changes once the child becomes the breadwinner. Skip, I don't know how it is in your community, but let me talk to you about how it was a little bit in my community. And not all, but a lot of times. Whoever's making the money makes the decisions. My grandfather used to tell my uncles and aunts, if you don't like it, hell, I pay the bills here. I'll put food on the table. You leave. Now the child becomes the breadwinner.
In a way, yeah. Leave me the fuck alone.
Tell someone that's providing. How could you tell your parents? And you should talk to your parents anyway. But how do you tell a parent that you paying all the bills? I pay your bills. I pay your bills. I bought this car. I bought that car. So the dynamic changed in the relationship. Hopefully T, his dad, T. Moran, sits him down and says, Ja, bro, hey, check this out. You move in a way that's not conducive for long term. You got an opportunity to be special. You have an opportunity to be one of the faces, if not the face of the NBA.
Yep.
But you got to be squeaky clean. You got to change the way you're doing business. You got to move differently. And a lot of the guys that you associate yourself with, it's time to let them start falling off like leaves come fall.
Oh.
Ja, congratulations, bro. I'm sorry that it took something like this, but I'm glad it didn't go even further and it took something tragic or catastrophic for you to realize the error of your ways.
Every point well said by Shannon Sharpe, a Pro Football Hall of Famer. Hope you're listening, Ja Morant. Now it's my turn.
Ja Morant.
Shannon, let me start with this. Let me just get this off my chest, get it out of my craw, because the first point I would like to make about the IG Live that I about fell off my couch when I first saw on whatever it was, Saturday morning. You can call me a stick in the mud, a grumpy old man, but this is what first hit me. What exactly was Ja Morant celebrating at 5:20 in the morning? They had just played in Denver what I would call a measuring stick game that I was very excited to see. I thought maybe Denver would show, Memphis would show me a little something on the road. They haven't. They were 12-18 on the road going into that game. They did show me something in the first half, Shannon. They were up 8 at halftime. They got blown off the floor in the second half by 63-39. And I'm looking at Ja's stats in the second half. He went 2 out of 10 in the second half. Interesting. So he's the floor general. He's the quarterback. He's the point guard. And he had to take some culpability, some responsibility for getting blown off the floor at Denver in the second half. Was he clinging to his stats for the game? Because overall, they looked pretty decent. He led his team in scoring with 27 and in assists with 10. But again, 2 for 10 in the second half. And I'm thinking, what exactly are you so happy about? What exactly? It looked like they just won it all in the celebration that I saw. And I've had people tell me, oh, it's just the kids today. They don't really care that much about winning. James Harden sort of set the tone for this generation. He could lose Game 7 of the finals and he'd be at the club. And it might not be that kind of club. It might be that kind of club that James would be at right after the game, because it doesn't seem to bother him one way or the other. Maybe all that's true. But now I get back to Ja. And obviously, Shannon, you and I have talked repeatedly on this show about incident after incident after incident.
Kind of like Antonio Brown.
Washington Post reported last summer he's having a pickup game at his house with a 17-year-old
star.
And
Shannon was going in on Antonio and all that stuff. Like, bro, all those people he hang around with, same thing. Now it's another black athlete.
Ja popped him several times in the face, and then went in the house and got his gun, stuck it in his belt, and was sort of brandishing his gun, if you will, or showing his gun to the kid. You don't want any of this. Then there was an incident at the mall with the head of security out in the parking lot